going up against the Springboks. I mean, what are you expecting, especially in the set pieces, especially with the person you're going against this weekend?
Look, we know how world class the Springboks are, especially in the scrum and maul area. Look, we've trained really hard this week, just like every week, to do our role and do our job within the team. And look, we know how much quality they have in the front row. They're very, very strong, very powerful athletes, and we respect those guys a lot, and we know what they'll bring. So again, you can look at the other way. It's exciting, to pin yourself against the best, and we're just looking to do what the team needs us to do and do our job.
Just touch on the opposite number this weekend.
I'm not sure I can say his last name. The big fella, plays for the Lions, tight head. He's had a great year, and obviously been doing a lot of work with the Springboks, which will only make him better. So look, at every player that the Springboks pick, it's a different challenge. They all have their strengths, and as we know, he has his strengths too. So just looking to do, I guess, in a matchup, just do my job and do what's best for the team.
Tom, if you look at that Springbok backline that's been picked, Williams, Lebok, they had various options, but they've gone for specific guys. That back three, do you expect them to be quite expensive to see the backline is full of running to get the chance?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the strong point of all three of those guys that are starting in the back three for them. Definitely their running game. Obviously, we've seen Kurt Leap for probably the longest period out of the three of them. Van der Merwe, if I'm saying that correctly. We've seen him come on probably of late. Obviously, I've watched him for a little while at Clubland, but and then again with Fussy, obviously we played against each other in Perth last year in monsoonal conditions. So probably for the best part of both of our games, a dry deck will probably bring the best out of both of us, which will be pretty exciting.
And you guys obviously like to have a go yourselves. A fast try pitch at Ellis Park could be a cracking game. A lot of tries. Yeah.
Hopefully more tries for us. Not as many for them, but absolutely, mate. We haven't seen for a number of weeks probably a really dry, fast deck. We haven't seen an afternoon or mid-afternoon, evening game. Something to look forward to. Potentially a little bit more ball in hand, but we know the threat that they pose. Obviously, ball to foot, and then sort of shifting the point of attack, a couple of passes, which we've seen in their game now for a number of months, which has been effective for them.
Tom, how good is it to have Jock, or we say James O'Connor back for you guys? I mean, quite a veteran for the Wallabies.
Yeah, he's come in, and to be fair, it's been a seamless transition for him in the respect that he makes no fuss about himself being obviously coming back in from a New Zealand Super Rugby side. Obviously a talking point for you guys, bringing an older head back into the group, but the experience he brings, and just the eagerness to bring the guys on that are around him. Obviously really disappointed for Turbo to have copped that head knock and obviously been ruled out, but for him feeding and giving everything he has to Turbo to be a better player before he obviously had to miss out on this trip, and then just was ready to take his opportunity. Was by no means coming in as a coach, but was, as I mentioned a couple of times, feeding guys with confidence, giving them everything he's sort of learned over the years, and he's ready to hit the ground running this week for us, which is awesome.
Has there been any chat about how the time period it's taken for all these to hit the box? I thought that this is you talk about that, or you guys are just...
It's been spoken. It's difficult to block out entirely the external media these days. You hear about those dates, and it can be the elephant in the room, right? So it's been spoken about in terms of how cool it'd be to be able to obviously break that drought. But is it any more special than any other game we're preparing for? Not particularly, no, because obviously we're keen to hit the ground running. We know these guys have had a little bit of an extended preparation into this game, so we know how well prepared they're going to be. But for me, playing at this stadium for the first time, really looking forward to that opportunity. Know how passionate the crowd and the supporters in this country are. So, really excited, to be fair.
Question for both of you. All that talk about sort of a dry, fast pitch and hopefully sort of loads of running rugby, can that be a double-edged sword at altitude?
Oh, I'd say I'd struggle a bit more than Righty, but no, I reckon it's a challenge for both teams. And look, we just know that the more expansive the rugby is, the better our defence has to be. We know how dangerous the Boks are, but in another way you could say it is how dangerous we are. So we just know that we have to stick to our guns, stick to our game, and I guess do what we've been doing at training, which has been just getting that real cutting edge precision in our attack and defence. So look, it's super exciting. Like dry deck, two proud rugby nations going at it, two world class players all through both teams. It's going to be an awesome spectacle, and look, me and Righty are both super excited for the contest, which will be awesome.
I won't regurgitate too much of that, but yeah, it's definitely been a talking point for us about how do we manage ourselves. We blow a gasket straight away if we try to put all our eggs in. Understanding the skill set of some of our guys as well. So maybe it's early on. It's a matter of who can sort of maintain or sort of play with the footy they've got the best. If that answers your question about how we sort of thought about that thin air or altitude.
Just a question for both of you guys. I mean, before you guys came here, the Gitchen was taken out. I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on it? I mean, South Africa obviously utilised it. Everybody utilised their foreign-based players in the team, and obviously they've been successful. I mean, what are your thoughts going forward with the whole Gitchen being taken away?
Look, it's I guess for me and Righty, it's probably something that we'd think about probably later on. We're both contracted with Rugby Australia and playing Super Rugby provincially, so look, that's a decision that someone, I guess, higher up made, but we're just looking to narrow our focus on the Rugby Championship. We've got 6 really, really important games for us off the back of the Lion series, and we just need to play well and represent Australia well, and that's our main focus.
I think we've seen like what some of the guys that we have come in have brought for us. So I think the balance of that moving forward will manage itself. But look what Willie did for us in the Lion series when he was able to come in and add what he brings to obviously the French competition. So I don't think there'll be a whole lot sort of looking into it too much.
Another question for both of you. Last year was the first time, if I'm correct, the Springboks beat the Wallabies back-to-back in Australia since '92, you put it that way. This year there's a distinct feeling that you guys pose a much bigger challenge than you did last year, which was at home, which obviously is a sign of how improved you guys must be. The question to me is, what do you guys think has sort of clicked over the last year or so?
Probably just time in the saddle, mate, to be fair. I think a whole sort of change in terms of from the top all the way down through to the playing group in terms of coaching staff had come in. Guys sort of finding themselves, finding confidence in their own game that Joe and the coaches have all sort of instilled in us. And even still, like we sort of still had a lot of growth in us, even just not long after playing you guys in back-to-back games on our home turf. So even still panning back again, I feel like we've come a really long way in less than 12 months from those sort of games. So just cohesion, confidence in our own game, understanding the way that we want to play. It doesn't always translate straight away to the pitch, but being able to be a step closer each time that we get on the field definitely helps.
Anything, Wanderer? I've got time for a couple online if there's anything that hasn't been asked. Nothing?
Hey guys, if I can just ask one or two please. Guys, how did everyone react when James O'Connor got named in the side earlier in the week?
Oh look, it was pretty exciting. Obviously we're a pretty tight-knit group, so everyone's I guess super happy for Rabs to come back in and do what he does best, and that's play footy and lead the team around from 10. So look, yeah, look, the team was super happy, and obviously there's that initial excitement for him, and then it just goes back to that super narrowed focus of we've got a job in 3 or 4 days, and that's to beat South Africa.
And Righty, just on today with Benny Donaldson going down, obviously it's stretched the 10s kind of, at the moment there's not a second 10 in the squad. Is it a case of, goal kickers sometimes having goal kicking targets? Is it going to be who can put another bloke through a hole and do that on Friday? Like, how are you guys going to work out who the extra 10's going to be?
Well, yeah, that's what the coaching staff are for, to be fair. They don't ask us to sort of pick the next 10. And yeah, Tane's been in and around the environment, so he's definitely capable. We've seen, obviously, he's got a very short-lived Test career, unfortunately, in Ireland last year, so I feel like he's got confidence oozing out of him at the moment after being able to, get a little bit more confidence in the AUNZ game and then back at Shoot Shield level 2. So whoever they call upon, mate, I think will do a great job for us.
Anything further on that? Time for the last one.
I've got one more for me, just for Belly. Just off the back of kind of going for the 6-2 bench. Obviously, you've been utilised quite well off the bench. And obviously we've got your champion Krepny coming back into the side there to make it 6-2. Talk to me about kind of that particular challenge of facing against a Springbok side that's known for being really, really strong finishers, but also kind of what you kind of picked up from that Lions series. And how you kind of want to try and apply it to taking on the likes of the Springboks and being as an effective finisher. Yeah,
look, you can sort of get caught trying to do, I guess, too much coming off the bench. I think the right mindset to have, I guess, is to come on and really work into what the team's ethos is or where we are or strategically what we're trying to do. And yes, there's obviously that... you've got to bring energy off the bench. That's why you're there, and that's something that I love doing. As long, I guess, as I'm in the Wallabies squad, I'm super thrilled. But to come off the bench, I guess it's especially against the Springboks, it's an awesome challenge. As we all know, they've got they've been renowned as the bomb squad and what they bring to the games of rugby. So look, it's an exciting challenge and. Look, I'm just looking to add value to the team individually, but then also collectively helping the team towards getting the win.